In 3, 2, 1. What is so funny?
Hi.
Already. Hi. What's going on, Shan?
Nothing. I'm excited. This is awesome.
I can't believe you actually came on the show. We had a bet going. They're like, all right, what are the odds that she actually shows? And I was like, well, did she go out last night?
I did. That's why I look like this. I wish I would have looked a little bit better. I didn't know the cameras were going to be capturing it.
I feel like I usually always try to tell people that the cameras are going to be on.
Yeah.
And then I must have forgot.
No, you probably said it. I just probably didn't think of it. Like, I was laying in my bed this morning. I was like, well, I have to call an Uber. So let's get going.
Well, I'm glad you took an Uber so we can get real saucy.
We can shed some sauce.
I'm so down. Mimosas, dude. I'll knock back a couple. Did you ever hear that story about Connor's buddy? So like, oh shit, is this ink?
Connor Osgood?
Yeah, this is ink.
Love that for you. Good way to start it off.
Yeah. So basically, like, all I was gonna do was we were just gonna go over, and I think we were going to Old Town or something. And he's like, "Yeah, we're finishing up bottomless mimosas, and you just come on through." So we like head over to Coliseum, and when we get there, Shannon is in the front, like freaking out, and I can hear her voice like just trailing, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I walk in, and there's blood all over the stairs. Have you ever been to Dustin's place, like the Coliseum?
Like off of Mill.
Yeah, it's like right behind West 6. Yeah. So like they have those stairs going up like the whole.
That's
like,
where Cole's Power Hour was, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So there's just blood everywhere, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Schlinn's like, "We need to call an ambulance." Like, and Connor's like, "No, he's fine. He's fine." So I go up there, and there's a kid in his bathroom, just like, you know, curled up, bleeding everywhere. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" So apparently they went to go get bottomless. This kid got so fucked up.
Damn.
He was birding or like just running.
I think he always gets so trashed on birds.
He might have just been running, or he might have been birding. I don't know. But he fell face first, and just front 3 teeth gone. Just like his front tooth was like shattered, like how you see like a hockey player, and it was just fucked up. And this kid was just blacked out, couldn't move, just like that. You know, when somebody's blacked out, he's like,
in there.
He's like, oh my god. Like,
that happened after Mill one night. One of my good friends, Jordan, was birding home. Like, they don't live far. They live like off of Priest, so not far at all. But birding home, like, hit a curb or something that you would do when you're like just drunk and whatever. Crashes the bird, basically, ends up like needing to get his jaw wired shut, like, because he broke his jaw, like, craziest thing. And then while he literally has his jaw wired, like 2 weeks later, my friend Matt is walking back to their place. It's always on the way back to their place, just walking back, and he hears this guy like kind of mumbling, and he's like, what the heck? And he puts on his flashlight on his phone because he can't really see anything. It's just this guy laying in a bush, like outside of this house, like, a bird's like right by him, like fell off this bird completely, like his face looks like it's like 3rd-degree burns, like just like ate it off this bird.
Just fucking gravel and shit.
Yeah, all in his face. They had to call an ambulance. Like, he had no idea. I was like, oh my goodness.
Can you imagine the amount of people that have to get plastic surgery just because of like falling on a bird? Something that's stupid. Yeah. It's just like falling on a bird.
I used to have this really weird fear. Like, I think it was like, I don't know what made me think of this even, but I used to live at Manzanita. And so, you know how there's that huge crosswalk right there? Like,
right outside of it.
Yeah, on University.
Yeah.
My number one fear, I think, freshman year of college wasn't like a normal one where it's like, I'm going to get kidnapped on my way home from a party, whatever. Mine was that I was going to be walking to or from class, and that someone was literally going to get into an accident there, and like a piece of the car was just going to fly off, and it like I would eat it. Off. Like, I thought I was like going to get in the face. It was because it's such a busy road, and people always try and beat that yellow light there because it's just like an inconvenience, like, for people to like stop there. But
it's such a long stop. Yeah.
I thought that literally someone was going to like get into a car accident, and a piece of their car was going to fly off, and I was going to take the brunt of it. And that was like my number one fear freshman year.
Dude, that's so crazy, but it's like, it's so, like, that shit happens so much.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen videos of just like some dude just standing on the sidewalk, and some dude gets in a car accident like 300 meters away, and the fucking wheel is just coming up and hits him in the back of the head. Like, I don't know if you've ever picked up a wheel Wheels
That's
are heavy.
heavy.
Like, that's heavy shit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine just taking one to the face.
That's what I don't know why I even thought about it either, but every single time I would leave Manzanita, it was like a thought in my mind, like, to be so aware of like what these cars around me were doing. Like I was so scared of it.
My biggest fear, because I lived in PV, Maine, so it was like, it's gone now.
Yeah,
it was super old. I was like one of the last people who lived in there. I was just scared it was going to collapse.
Really?
Like there was so much sketchy shit everywhere.
Yeah,
and like, we didn't even have like locks on our doors, like on our bathroom doors. So like what you had to do was they were just like these like sliding doors, you know, in between like the two rooms.
Yeah.
And there was a hole in it, and you had to put a pencil through the hole for it to like get stuck.
Wow.
So people couldn't open it.
You know what's so crazy too is like earlier when we were touching on like Arizona culture in general, like I feel like we're so like privileged almost.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like these are normal things. Like when my sister, for example, went to school in Philadelphia, and her dorm was like, it was a literal box, but it was with 3 beds in it. So it was like one room for 3 people, and it was communal bathrooms.
Yeah.
And like that's so normal. Like that's absolutely so normal for your freshman year of college.
But we get so privileged.
But yeah, mine was like Manzanita was literally like a hotel. Like I was like,
so, and that's the thing is like, I get you, but it's like, I didn't think anything of it till I went somewhere else.
Yeah, where you
like
saw
when I walked
else.
into my dorm, I was like, this is so cool, and like it's shitty, but like this was a dorm experience
like it's
supposed
college,
to be.
yeah.
And like I always knew what school I was gonna go to. Like I always knew I was gonna go into engineering. So when I did like the early fucking walkthroughs or whatever, like when you visit like schools, I went to the engineering ones because I knew that was what I was interested in.
Yeah.
And so they tour you the engineering dorms. So I never saw Manzi. I never saw Hossie.
So for you,
of the
just
other dorms.
expected that it was like literally what everyone was living like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm all good. And it's like my 3rd day of school and somebody's like, hey, we're going to go into the district, we're going to go party and drink some alcohol. You want to come on? I was like, okay. And so I was talking to this girl at the time, and I go over to her place, and she lives in Hossie, and I walk in there, I'm like, what the fuck?
And their ceilings are extended.
I was like, this is so
yeah.
nice. And she's like, yeah, I have control over my own thermostat, and I like to keep it really, really cold. She's like wearing a jacket, and it's like, 98 degrees outside.
Yeah.
She's wearing a sweater, and I'm just like, dude, are you kidding me? I was like, I have no control over anything. I don't even have a fan.
Yeah.
It's super hot. Like the walls are crumbling. There's cockroaches everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even have a working door. And here you guys have like stainless steel bathrooms.
Yeah.
I was like,
super
fuck.
clean.
I got super, super bummed out.
Yeah. And it's the same price.
Yeah.
You're paying the exact same tuition.
I feel so dumb because I just kind of like sucked it up. But so many people just said, fuck it, and moved. Like, I know Luciano moved. My buddy Aaron moved. Like they were all engineers.
One of my friends was in PV, or no, maybe San Pablo. He was engineering, so he might have been in PV Maine because I think it was the last year.
Yeah.
My freshman year was the last year it was there. But he literally thought it was disgusting.
No,
and,
it would have been.
No, it would have been the year before me.
Yeah,
it was last year. So he must have lived in like PV East or West, like one of those.
Those are pretty shitty too.
Yeah, and he was like, screw this, and like got a doctor's note or something that he needed, like or something like an allergy within the building. And he moved to the Vertex, like was like out. Like he was like, I'm done. Dope. And then he moved in with 2 older Fijis at the time.
I just know a lot of people who like just didn't do it, and they just straight up moved. Like one of my buddies said that he had a roommate at Hossie, and his roommate moved out, and they never filled it. And so he just told his buddy who was in engineering, he was like, dude, just come. So he just moved. I think Luciano, like, he lived at Hayden. You know where Hayden?
Yeah.
And they got flooded or some shit, and he was just like, fuck this. He grabbed all of his stuff and moved in to like
it's
some
so crazy.
PGs.
Yeah, my freshman year, or maybe it was my sophomore year, I don't remember which one, but Barrett had flooded. And they had to relocate everyone in like the graduate hotel and like that kind of stuff. Like it was so crazy. And I was like, how does that even happen? But I mean, things happen. Now working in like an apartment building, I see like a little bit of a different aspect of it. So it's super interesting just like knowing all the crazy things that happen behind the scenes.
It's like ridiculous, like to keep upkeep of like, because people fuck shit up. Mm-hmm. People like destroy houses.
Oh yeah.
Like, I remember you were telling me when you worked at the hub, like all the things that you saw up there of like what people would leave, like
People are
just
crazy.
like straight up, just like move out and leave all these things.
Even now, like at Union, like I said to my boss, I was like talking about like a podcast with her one time, and I was like, we could literally make an office podcast and just refer to people by their unit numbers and like release it like a year later of just like, here comes 1847 again. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so, like, you'd have so much material because it's so insane to me that, like, which it happens all the time, especially in, like, a college atmosphere, because people, like, a lot of the times are from, like, a fortunate enough background where they're not necessarily paying for the rent. Like, maybe it's their parents or whatever. So I think that there's a level of like pride that comes with things when you pay for it on your own. Like,
oh, absolutely.
You're paying for your car. You're gonna make sure the oil's changed and like you take it to the car wash because it's so awesome that it's like yours and it's whatever. But people sometimes, man, the way they live their lives is a mystery.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's so crazy. I saw like one time I had to go into a unit because they were changing beds or whatever. Like they had to add something into the beds. And I walk in and this girl, it was like her unit or door's locked. So we open up the door to go in to switch the bed out. Just $100 bills and lingerie scattered across her bed. And I was like, what job do you have? Like, let me know.
Where's the webcam?
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? Cause I want to be in on this. Cause if you have that much money, I need it.
I wonder too, though, like, what if she just did that to fuck with you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they're like giving notices that people are coming through. Yeah, exactly. But I was like,
I'd do some crazy shit, put a bunch of flour on the ground and just like a couple razor blades.
Leave it out, just chopped up on
paint
the
a Nerf gun
counter.
Black, just spray paint it. They call the cops and they're like, well, this is flour and a Nerf gun, so we can't do anything.
Yeah. No, people do the weirdest. And it's like, I always wonder too, and it should be like the same for everyone, but I do have like a little bit of like a stereotypical like, you're a young lady. Like, why does your apartment look like this? You know? Yeah. Girls are the nasty ones. I'm telling you.
No, they are. They are.
Girls are the nasty ones.
Yeah, they are.
I straight up have been, like, guys, it's usually super simple. Like, they don't really decorate that much. Like, you know, it's whatever. They're just chilling. Girls, though, you find some nasty stuff.
Dude, I feel like, too, for guys, like, they either just don't care and nobody cares, so nobody's bothered by it, so their house is a fucking mess. Mm-hmm. Or they do care, but they're like comfortable enough to say whatever. Yeah. Like I've been living with Ryan for 3 years, and like whenever there's something small, like he didn't do his dishes, or I didn't do my dishes, or we left something out, or whatever, it's like super common for us to just be like, "Hey man, do you mind getting that?" Or, "Hey, you left this thing out," and like. For us, it's like fine. Nobody gets offended. Nobody gets pissed off. Like blah, 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 blah. But I've seen situations where like between girls, they're like, hey, you didn't do your dishes. And be like, well, those are my fucking dishes. What are you talking about? Yeah. And then next thing you know, they're arguing for 30 minutes about who's doing the dishes. And I'm just sitting there like, oh shit. And then nobody fucking does them. And I'm just like, all right. Like,
and it's like, let's be real. Every apartment complex in Tempe has a dishwasher attached to it. Just throw it in the dishwasher. Yeah.
Like and I get it. Sometimes you don't fucking want to at the moment. Yeah. And you can come back. And then sometimes you forget. So it's like everybody at some point has left some shit out for a couple days.
Oh, easy. Like, I'm the biggest offender of leaving my shoes in the living room. I always do that. Like, I don't know why it is, but I'll forget all the time to like I'll just take off my shoes when I'm sitting on the couch, and I'll always forget to literally like pick them up and bring them into my room. So I'll have like 4 or 5 pairs of shoes at like one point in the living room. And I know that it makes Bez so mad. She's like, can you please put your shoes in your room? And it's such a little thing, and it's super easily like fixable, but for some reason I just leave my shoes wherever I'm at. Yeah. I just plot them on the ground, and it'll be out there for like weeks.
Just throw shoes everywhere.
I just always leave, like I'll just sit on the couch and I'll take off my shoes, and they'll be like under the coffee table. And I'll just leave them. I'm like, whatever, I'll get it later.
Yeah, I just do that. I do the same shit with like my sandals or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad because I'm like, that is actually so annoying. But whatever.
But
take me for what I offer.
Yeah, I'm here. Like, nobody's perfect. Yeah. It's like I feel like living situations with people. It's either like you have to learn to live with them instead of just like, because no one's gonna be fucking perfect. So it's like a good roommate is somebody who they're like downfalls don't bother you as much.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
think
if someone's like, because nobody's perfectly clean.
Yeah.
And if they're overly clean, it's like
it's
annoying as fuck.
at that point,
So
because
it's
you're like, oh my goodness,
so you just gotta find someone
more
who's
than
like
you do.
a little a little dirty, but then like if you're like, hey, clean it up, they don't have a fucking problem with it.
Yeah, I think, in general, like finding a good roomie, for me at least, it's like Bez, like we live very well together.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting because it's like she just understands that like when I'm upset about something, I like shut down kind of. Like I personally just don't like to talk about it. Like I would rather just like it'll pass. Like just let me like self deal with it. I'll listen to music in my room and I'll lay in there. I like won't talk to anyone. She like appreciates the fact that like that's kind of my coping mechanism. Whereas like other people sometimes try and like poke and prong and be like, what's wrong? Did I do something? Am I like, you know what I mean? It's like, get out of my face. Now I'm annoyed with you. And what the problem didn't even involve you, you know? So I think it's just like learning how to like, cause I mean, your lives are basically just intertwined. You know what I mean? Like you're there. So I think it's like accepting that like you can adjust to the way someone else is like living their life.
Yeah. And that makes perfect sense too. Cause it's like, for example, like I'm a talker. Like for me, whenever I have some fucked up shit going on, it's easy for me to just like go home and just be like, I want to talk about this because it's like venting. It like gets it out. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people are like you. Who do the opposite.
I literally shut down.
Like, like understanding that and not being like, well, do you want to talk about it? Because it helps me. And it's like, well, it doesn't help me. So just fucking let go of it.
Yeah.
And like, that could cause some problems in the beginning, but it's just like understanding that other people like work differently. And, like, just letting them do them. Like, it's fine. Because it sucks is like, you want to respect them enough to where it's like, they're not hiding in their room all the fucking time because they hate being around. Dude, I saw some fucking wild shit. So my sister, she goes to University of Kentucky, and like
that's probably so dope.
She's having some roommate problems or whatever, and like her friends, like her roommates. So my sister's like moving out now because whatever happened, and then she's moving out, and her roommate said like, you need to log off the Hulu, because like people share like Hulu or somebody gets the Netflix or whatever. She's like, you need to log off the Hulu account. You need to log off right now. And she fucking changed my sister's name to fake friend, like her like name on her little like account.
How petty are we?
I was like, dude, she was just like, that is so petty. I was like, that is so fucking petty. It's like, dude, if you don't get along, whatever. She's moving out,
like,
whatever.
Just let it be whatever.
But you gotta fucking do something so petty like that, and then. I guess like the other roommate had a bunch of people drinking over, and they like broke into her car and threw like her dog's like leash out on the street and like a bunch of shit. And they because her car was open.
That's really weird.
I was like, dude, fucking A. Like I thought I had like some minor roommate troubles in the past, but that's like
the worst.
That's insane.
Girls are a little bit crazy. I'm crazy. I don't know. I'm definitely kind of crazy too. The worst roommate situation I've ever encountered was actually recently. It was the craziest thing. And like I said, I work in my apartment building. So anyway, I went out with a group of my friends. It was supposed to just be me and one other girl that we were just going to catch up and like get drinks and hang out. Completely casual. And then I had invited who's now my ex, I had invited him out because he was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything either. Like, let's all go this is like a Saturday afternoon. It's like, let's all go get a drink. So I'm like, yeah, I'm used at Postino. It's just me and my friend and then my roommate.
Yeah.
And so we all go. He brings his roommate who's like also his cousin, and then he invites one of his friends from work. So it's like the six of us, we're all having a great time. It's fun. So I give my key to my friend who had parked at our apartment building so she could go get her car out of the garage. And I was like, oh, I work there. I'll just make a new key. It's not a big deal, whatever. Sorry. So I go into the office, make a new key. And I'd left Pedal House early because we had gone there after Postino. So I go and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done with my like beer or whatever. So I leave, I go back with his cousin, and I make a new key, and then we're sitting on our couch drinking a beer, like super casual. And he FaceTimes my ex and is like, oh, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And him and my roommate are together. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like she really doesn't like him at all. Like that's just so interesting. So I had like a really weird gut feeling about it. And I'm someone that is absolutely a believer in your intuition. Like the second you think something's up, it probably is. There's no reason why I'd be thinking that other way. And like, if you're wrong, whatever. But probably from like 7:30 to 1 a.m, I'd been texting her like, you never came home. Like, that's really weird that like you guys are together, but like you're not here. Like, what the heck? Like, blah, blah, blah. So I call my coworker who's on call that night. And I'm like, yo, I need the master key. Like, I need it. I don't know where you are. I will come get it from you. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, just meet me on my floor. So she comes up to my floor. And my ex-boyfriend lives one floor above me.
Yeah.
So I literally go and I get the key from her and I'm like, fuck this. I know something's up. Pardon my French. And so I go into the room. I just use the master key. I walk right into their apartment. I'm like, I don't even care at this point, whatever. So I go into his room and someone's laying in the bed and I'm like, oh, I think that's him. Like, whatever. I'm psychotic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go leave and I see someone's in his bathroom. I'm like, yo, I'm about to catch this bitch. I know she's in there. I know. And I would like the jersey was coming at me at this point. Like, I think I kind of blacked out simply from my adrenaline rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
that is some crazy Jersey bitch.
Yeah.
You're scaring me. You're fucking scaring me.
I'm scaring myself. So I am standing outside of the door and I'm like, I know what's going on. Like, I'm like, I'm about to catch this bitch.
Just like shadow in the hallway.
Oh, I'm like, I'm about to catch this bitch. So then the door opens and he walks out of the bathroom and his face immediately is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he just like straight up like is Casper in this moment. Like,
you're about to stab
so
him, dude.
I had like the
that would have been my first fucking reaction if like I'm sleeping with my like ex's like roommate or whatever.
Mind you, the night before all of this happened, it was me, her, the guy she's been talking to, and him, like all hanging out at our apartment.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no, and she know every single like detail of this relationship. Like, there's no single like, oh, I didn't know you guys were together kind of like there's no excuse. So I see him walk out of the bathroom and I look at him, I go, where the fuck is she? I'm like pissed. And I go into the room and I was at this point, it could have literally been any girl, but and the fact that I was like that heated in the moment to be bold enough to just, I ripped the covers off. I didn't even know if it was her or not. I just straight up ripped the
could have been just some other
bed
fucking
sheets
naked
off.
girl.
Yeah, it could have been any other girl. And it was her. And I literally was like, you dumb bitch. I'm like screaming. All of his roommates woke up. They live in a 4-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
All of his roommates wake up. I'm like cursing her out. I'm like, get out of this bed, blah, 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 whatever. She's like, Shannon, you literally called me 20 times. And I was like, and you didn't answer.
Yeah.
What? You knew I was calling you?
Yeah.
And then she's like, help me get my things. I wanted to strangle her with her jean skirt, I think. Like, I just started seeing red. And so that was a crazy roomie moment.
That's fucking wild, dude.
So, and I never asked her to log out of my Netflix. So tell your sister there's been darker days.
Who's actually petty.
Who's actually petty.
Yeah. That's some fucking Jersey shit. And I was like, at least you didn't fucking fight her or something.
Fake friend.
Fake friend. Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Fake fucking friend.
I mean, I'm petty. I can be petty if I wanted to, but yeah, no. I would never be like, log out of my Netflix.
Yeah, it's like stupid shit. Like, that's so dumb. At that point, it's just like you're just reaching. You're reaching. You know, you're just trying to get any little bit of control over the situation and whatever's going on. And it's like, dude, just fucking let it go.
Yeah, that's like some, I mean, that in that aspect, that what I would tell your sister is like, that's a friend not being done with the friendship. Like, if she was really mad at your sister about something and like completely done with it, it's like, then just be done. Like, she's moving out, be done with it. Yeah. But that's her, like, there's something in like her mind that's like not over the argument yet. Yeah. Where she's just reaching at that point to like make someone else like feel uncomfortable. To try to, that's what people do though. Yeah. It's like so many like arguments that I've had or like talks that I've had to have with people start with them just basically, you know, going at you, just trying to rile you up, trying to make you fucking have a reaction. And then
the look on their face when you're just like, dude, it's so obvious what you're fucking doing. Like, you're just being mean, or you're just saying things that don't need to be said just so you can get me pissed off. So then in the
and you
conversation,
know too what you're
if you
doing.
get emotional, then you lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you start yelling or you start getting emotional and then you say something fucked up and you say something too bad, and it's like, dude, all right, now you're the dick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you just like sit there and you're just like, all right, whatever, dude, you can just let it go. It's like the worst roommate like situation I ever had wasn't even too bad, because like he moved out, we had an argument over something, and I was like, all right, man, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. And he fucking left, and then we never spoke again. Yeah. Like, that's it. Because obviously, like, he had a problem and I had a problem, and couldn't be worked out, so just went our separate ways. Yeah. And it's never like anything fucking weird, you know? It's never fake friend. Yeah. Fucking call him out on, just text him on like Xbox, be like, fake friend, don't join my fucking Fortnite group. Fake friend, kick him out. I love that. Dude, you know what's funny? It's such like a guy thing. Like, I don't know what like girls do if like you see them like at a party or like at a Postino's night or whatever when you have like beef with someone. But for me, that guy, it was so weird because the next time I saw him was we were playing like Xbox and like we were playing Destiny with like our little headsets like with everybody, and he joined our group, and I was like, like awkward, quiet, but it's like I'm in my room alone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think the thing is too, that's like the biggest part of it was, and I've been that roommate that's like the fake friend, the one that would go out of her way to like make someone know that like I'm annoyed. But I think a part of it is too, it's like you just kind of have to realize like it's really not that deep. So I've had roommate situations before too where it's like done, you know? It's like when we move out, it's over. Shout out to my old roommate, Lexi. We don't talk, like, we just weren't good roommates. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it's fine. Like, sometimes you can be, I love the fact that, like, with some people, you can figure out you're not good roommates, but then still be good friends. Yeah. And, like, I don't know if you've encountered that. That was us with Gina. Yeah. It's like our living styles are different. Yeah. And if we would have tried to make it work and forced ourselves to live together again, we probably would have lost a friendship. Yeah, because somebody, like, oversteps, or then you like figure out, you're like, well, this is, now I'm not comfortable doing this, and like whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's like one of the most mature things you can do is just be like, dude, I love you, it's not gonna work out, like we just can't live together, and we can still be best friends. Yeah, you know. And that's fucking dope. That is dope. That's fun. I don't know about you, but I could use a drink. We get sauce. You want to get saucy? I'm kind of excited. Let's go swimming. Let's go swimming.